Good morning, Buckfighters. Today is Monday, March 21st, and this week I read this book by this poet person. That was a terrible intro. Yeah, so in last week's video I forgot to say what book I was going to read, and then I told you that I was going to read 12th Night because I said that because I was going to go to an audition, and then I decided not to go to that audition, so then I decided to read something else, and then this was what I had to read for my English course, which is Look We Have Coming to Dover by Dajit Nagra, and then it was World Poetry Day today, so it all kind of worked out brilliantly because I was going to read you a poem from this, but now I'm not going to do that because I didn't like this book at all. It just never really affected me, and I feel like when I'm reading poetry, that's definitely what I wanted to do. I wanted to make me feel something, and I kind of just read this passively, sometimes enjoying it, sometimes not enjoying it. I never really like the kind of, when languages are kind of mixed, and you have slang and stuff. I don't mind it in novels. In poetry, I'm not saying it's wrong or bad, it doesn't sit well with me. I'm not going to read something from this because I don't think you'll enjoy anything from this. In a video I made a long time ago, in fact it was the very first video that I did Sock Puppet Question Time, someone asked me what my favourite myths were, and I said I didn't have any, but one of my poets that I really don't like wrote a poem that I really do like. She actually wrote a couple of poems that I really do like. It's her that I don't like. You can't deny her poetry is fantastic, but I really just don't like her, so that's my issue with that. She did a whole collection of poetry called The World's Wife, which looked at famous men in history and then wrote poems about their other halves. And by that I mean like their wives, not their left sides or something. I'm going to read you a poem called Anne Hathaway, which is based on the Shakespeare sonnet about the second best bed. That, like his will, he leaves the second best bed to his wife. And it's called Anne Hathaway. And I love this poem because it merges language, which I really love, and it merges the idea of language and writing and kind of romanticizes it with love and sex and all these type of things, and it mixes it together so there's no kind of definable line between them. And I love that. I love anything that glorifies language to that kind of level, and it romanticizes the idea of a woman being in a relationship with a writer, and how the time in the bedroom he whisks her away and it's his language that excites her, and I love that idea for obvious reasons, so I'm going to read you that now. The bed we loved in was a spinning world of forests, castles, torchlight, cliff tops, seas where we could dive for pearls. My lover's words were shooting stars which fell to earth as kisses on these lips, my body now a softer rhyme to his, now echo, assonance, his touch a verb dancing in the centre of a noun. Some nights I dreamed he'd written me, the bed a page beneath his writer's hands, romance and drama played by touch, by scent, by taste. In the other bed, the best, our guests dozed on, dribbling their prose. My living, laughing love, I hold him in the casket of my widow's head, as he held me upon that next best bed. So there you go, I hope you enjoyed that for World Poetry Day. Questions? I can't remember any. I'm going to have to go and check. I've now looked, and there were two questions. Katie, your question about whether I would rather stay in one place forever or move every 2 months, definitely the second one. I often feel like I'm in the same place. I don't think there's anything more exciting than moving somewhere new and experiencing new things and new places, and if I could, I would live somewhere, a different place every 6 months, absolutely. Julia, your question about giving away your books. You give away 100 books and then 200 books. That's crazy town. And I can't. I love my books. Like I was saying a couple of weeks ago about stories within books. Like I always feel like books are the most amazing things. Like when I read Inkheart, and it says like they're the most amazing things because not only do they transport you to the place in which it's telling you about, but if you read a book again, it also transports you to the first time you read it. If I read The Lion in the Wardrobe now, I am immediately transported to that moment when I first read it, and I was in the back of my mum's car, and it was a Fiat, and it was red, and I remember the inside of it because of that book. It's almost like a time machine. I couldn't give that away. It'd be like giving part of my memories and part of my thoughts away and part of myself away. So, no, I really can't give my books away. And I really hope that doesn't make me a bad person. Katie, I am postponing coming up with a punishment idea. Number one, because I haven't come up with a punishment idea. Number two, because you and Sarah still have a punishment to do. I will leave a link in the description to that punishment. You're not getting away with that. I'm aware that Sarah hasn't had a camera for a while, but she has now, so you need to get together and sort that out, because that will be excellent. I think maybe your punishment for not reading last week's book might be, I might add a new sort of, oh, I've got it. So my punishment last time was Twilight, and you had to reenact the scene from Twilight with Sarah. I'm just going to add a new thing for that, and that is that there has to be some sort of cosplay involved, some sort of dressing up. I like that a lot. There we go, punishment sorted. My question for you guys this week is, can we have a full week? No, I feel like we haven't had a full week in a while, and I know we've had a lot of gremlins and a lot of issues, but I feel like this week we need to have a full week, so let's see if we can have a full week. That is all from me today. Who's got the novella? I don't think it's one of us, is it? It must be Tara of those Writer Girls. So my additional question for you, Lauren, is how did you find writing your part of the novella? Yeah. Okay, book fighters, that is definitely all from me this week. I will see you all next week. This video, there's something about me this video, I just can't, I'm not my usual, I can't finish sentences, that's what it is. I'm struggling to finish sentences. Goodbye. Goodbye.